Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So I'm very excited because Caliray sent me all 5 shades of their brand new liquid or cream blush. So excited. Now they do have another product that's more of a blush and lip stain, but this is a true like liquid or cream blush. It's kind of like it's kind of thick, so it's kind of like a cream but in liquid format. You'll see what I mean in a second, but it dries down to a powder. And one thing I love about Caliray, and I've raved about a couple of their products, is that it is made for like the water. I think it's made by, it's like a surf girl, which I am not a surfer girl, but I do live in South Florida. I do go on cruises. We go to theme parks, and so many of their products are made to like last for a surfer girl. And their mascara, I'll show it here. I am wearing it today. This is a mini. I have a full size too, but I like getting the minis, is that this stuff doesn't budge. And I went to a water park. Here's a little video of me in a wave pool wearing this mascara. And when I tell you that it never budged, it never budged. So now the downside is that when you're trying to take it off, it's really hard to take off, even with like waterproof or makeup remover, but it's worth it if you're going to. This is what I wear in the theme parks. But let's talk about these blushes. Okay, so it's called the Blurry blush, and it says that it's a skin-loving, soft focus cream blush. And I kind of think of it as liquid because it kind of comes in this tube. So whenever I think of it like this, I think of a cream blush in a, kind of like a pan, where this I think of more of a liquid. But you'll see here, it's a pretty like thick formula, but not in a bad way. So it's very pigmented, but you can see where it is definitely a thicker type of format. So it's kind of like a cross between a cream and a liquid, but it does dry down to a powder. And I did some swatches, which I'll show you in a second. But when I tried to get the swatches off my arm, I literally had to scrub. So here's some video of me literally, and I put soap on and actually had to get the scrubber side of my kitchen sponge to scrub it off. So now those were like full swatches, not blended out, but that I am very excited because I'm always looking for a blush, like a liquid blush that's gonna last all day and gonna look beautiful. And Caliray, they know how to do it. So I'm excited to try these. Okay, so a little bit about the product first. It is a blurring and pore minimizing cream blush in 5 amazing shades that will deliver a transfer-free, diffused, and buildable pop of color to cheeks that lasts. Why it's special, it's a clean, lightweight liquid blush with a velvety texture that creates a soft, focused, vibrant color on cheeks. The long-wearing formula is packed with skin-boosting, hydrating, and oil-absorbing ingredients, great for minimizing pores for all-day wear. And then it talks about how to apply. So apply, it says you can use, it has a boxing glove shaped applicator, which I did just show you, but we'll kind of show you here. So it is a boxing glove shaped applicator. You can put a couple dots on and you can blend it out with a brush or a sponge, or you can even damp it out with your fingers. I'm gonna try that. I don't like applying liquid products to my face just because it tends to, leave a dot, but we will try different application methods because we're gonna try all 5 shades. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try, there's like 5 shades. Well, let's get into the shades first. So here are the swatches that I did in natural sunlight. So Epic is Cool Orchid Pink. Then you have Dream State, which is a bright, clean pink. Sublime, which is a muted berry. It's definitely the darkest shade. Dope, which is a rosy mauve. And then Zen, which is a nude pink. So if you know anything about my channel, the last 2 shades are gonna be my favorite, Dope and Zen. I will say, looking at the shades, the only thing I would say that's missing is kind of like a peachy shade. You've got that nude Zen pink, which I think is really pretty, but they're all pretty much pinky type shades. There's some more mauve-y and berry, but they're all like in the pink shade range. So the only thing that I think is missing is like a peachy type shade. So hopefully they'll be popular if they're good, and that they will do a shade extension. So that's the only thing that I would say is not a critique, but just an observation. And then I did want to share, just kind of compare it to, because I do have 2 shades of the Socal Liquid Bloom Lip and Cheek Tint Soft Stain Blush. So this is it. So you kind of see the comparison here as far as the size is concerned. So it's a little thinner, but this one is, but it's taller. And this one is definitely, it's a stain. So you're gonna see where it's just a very more liquidy formula. So let's do some quick swatches on my arm to compare the two formulas. Okay, so this is Wildflower from the Socal. So you can see it's very much a stain. It goes on very sheer. I love wearing this with their skin tint. This is something that I bring on when I'm going on like a cruise and I'm gonna kind of want to have a little bit of makeup but not really be made up. This is what I like wearing. So that is the Socal, that's their original lip and cheek stain. And then I'm gonna compare it to, I think this is Dope. Yes, this is Dope, which I think is the most similar shade. And we'll kind of just compare it to Dope and you'll see where it's just definitely a different formula. So you can see where this is again, it's more of a traditional liquid cream blush. This one's gonna give you kind of like an airbrush feel where this is gonna blend out. So if you didn't like this product, like this product I liked, but not for, you know, every day. This is, I like this for certain reasons and for certain situations. Kind of like for every day, but not when I was doing like full makeup, if that makes sense. This is something that I wear all the time. Like I love liquid blush, love cream blush. So, but that's kind of comparing the two formulas if you're curious. Okay, so now that we know the difference between the two different formulas, I'm going to try these on. So how I'm going to try them on is, if you've watched any of my videos before, I'm going to try one on each cheek. Since there's 5, I will end with the darkest shade. So the darkest shade is Sublime. So I'm gonna do that one last and I'll end on both cheeks. And then I kind of felt like Epic and Dream were both cool tone pinks. And then you have Dope and Zen, which are kind of more on the warmer tone. So I'm going to do those side by side. So if you're interested in either of those shades, you'll be able to see how each look on my skin. So my skin is kind of a light to medium, neutral, leaning, warm undertone. So I tend to buy foundations that are neutral, but sometimes they do have warm undertones, but I'm definitely not cool. So hopefully that helps you as far as, you know, what it might look on your skin as opposed to mine. Okay, so I'm going to try something different with this video that I haven't done before, just because I want to make a short as well. And in order to do that, I have to film vertically, which is difficult. Either I have to film everything twice, or I can just show you me applying the product with me doing it vertically. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. We'll see how this comes out. I don't know if this will be a regular theme or not, but so first up, this is Epic. So this is Epic. This is the Cool Orchid Pink, and really pretty. Now, first of all, they're super pigmented. The first time I did, I went in with like 2 dots, and I went in with the brush, which I absolutely loved. It blended out great, so it didn't leave the dot on your face. However, I put a lot on both sides. So I would say you probably only need like 1 dot because they're really, really pigmented. Now, the good thing is about that is that you can do that with underpainting if you wanted to go over with the foundation, which is what I did. I just went over with my damp sponge to kind of tone it down and then kind of correct it, I guess, and then make sure. So this is the color, but this is, let's see, make sure I get the right one. This is Epic. This is the Cool Orchid Pink. This is the one that if you like that bubblegum pink, that Barbie pink that's been so popular. I'm not a big fan of those. I don't hate it on me, but it's just not what I gravitate towards. I tend to gravitate towards warm colors. This, you would want Epic. I think this is going to be a very, very popular shade, especially since this has been a very popular, you know, kind of color for everything. So that is Epic. And then this one is the other pink. This is the Bright Clean Pink, and this is called Dream State. So of the two, like really true pinks, this one I prefer a little bit more, just because even though it is, I think it is still cool toned, it's just a little bit more of my vibe. I think it's a little bit more neutral, and I like it, but I like both. I don't hate either, but I definitely prefer Dream State a little more. Okay, so here are the next 2 shades. So the first up we have Dope, which is a rosy mauve. And so this application, I did go in with a damp sponge. And I will say, I did go out over a little bit after with a brush just to kind of give it a little bit more color. I will say, if you want a more impactful, more pigment, go in with a brush. if you want more of a muted look, or if it's one of the darker shades, then go in with the damp sponge, because I probably should have switched the application, use the damp sponge with the brighter shades, and then use the brush with the 2 lighter shades, because I will say you get more pigment with the brush, but then with the damp sponge, you can kind of just blend it out. I actually like the application of how it looks with the damp sponge. So what I did with this one is I went in on the damp sponge on camera, and then right before when I flipped it back over, I went in with a little bit with the brush, just to kind of give it a little bit more color. So this is the Rosy Mauve. This is Dope. And these were the 2 shades that I thought were going to be my favorite, and they absolutely are. So this is Dope. And then the other one is Zen. Now Zen is definitely the lightest one. This is the nude pink. You can see it here. Again, I did go back over. It went on beautifully with the damp sponge, and it kind of gives you, it does totally give you that blurring effect. I absolutely loving the coverage, and I will say having to take it off the other 2 shades before applying these, I had to take off my complete foundation and reapply my foundation. That's why I'm not wearing bronzer or anything, because I completely had to take off where I was wearing it. There was no way kind of going in. Like, it's, once it dries down, it ain't going anywhere, which is a good thing, but bad when you're trying to create content. But this is, again, this is Zen. This is the nude pink. This is the one I thought was gonna be my favorite. It can, now this one you could probably make it very, very subtle, very light. This is great for like every day, but it's also, you can go in a little bit heavier and make, you know, give it more of a pack of a punch. This is probably gonna be your closest to a nude shade. Again, that's probably the only thing lacking in the shade range, but again, hopefully they'll expand it. Okay, and now the final shade, which is Sublime, and this one is described as a muted berry. This is definitely by far the darkest shade. I actually did need to go in a little bit and kind of underpaint, tone it down a little bit, because even when I went in with a damp sponge, it was a little heavy, but I was able to mute it out, and it looks gorgeous. But I can make this one work. This one would be great if I'm going to underpaint, like if I'm going to the theme park and I really want to kind of get something that's going to last, like I'm going to be sweating. Now I will say I had put this one, when I did it with the brush, I put a drop here, and then I went in with the brush, and I don't have the brush here, but went in with the brush and then just kind of patted and then went on. That worked out really well. However, I did need to use true like makeup remover, not a wipe. That didn't even work. Like, I had to use an oil makeup remover to get it off my hand. So just be aware, like if you're on the go straight to the face, because you don't want to, it's gonna dry down fast. Also, don't, you know, work on each cheek at one at a time. Don't go, I never do that where I do both cheeks at the same time. I always do one cheek at a time with everything. So that's just like a natural habit for me. But with these, you do not want to do that, because they do dry down really quickly. When I was filming and I paused it for a second, when I went back in, it pretty much had dried down, and I kind of had to scrub off like part of the edges. So that's just like a filming problem. That wouldn't be something that I would normally have a problem with. But once you work in, you know, fast, that's fine. It's not like you have to work really fast, but don't think you can put it down and like take your time. That's where also working with the damp sponge did help, because it just kind of just moistened it a little bit and made it smoother to go on. But I liked both applications. I will say if you're going with a darker color and you're more fair skinned or light skinned, then you want to go in with a damp sponge, and then maybe you could go in with the brush after. If you're going with one of the lighter shades like Zen or Dope, you could easily go in with the brush. And I actually did reapply and applied more product to get a, you know, more color on my cheeks. I love all 5 shades. I think all 5 shades are very universally flattering. There are some cool shades, there's some warm shades, there's a neutral shade. With that said, I do think it's lacking a peach. So these are all pretty much pinky type shades, pinky and berry. So that's the only thing. I hope that they add like a nude, like maybe they have a nude pink, maybe like a nude peach or a peachy beige would be nice. So something just a little bit warmer, but I think that the Zen and the Dope fill that warm vibe. But you know, for the girls that really love peach, there's really not one for you here, but I think they're gorgeous. These are $25, so they are really great. I think they're a really great price, and a little goes a long way, so a lot's gonna last you. They are a matte, So they dry down to like a powder, so you can see here. I did wear it over foundation and powder, so they did apply great over powder, so that was great. And I will be doing a wear test. I'm going to Orlando this weekend. I will be wearing at least one of these shades over the course of the weekend, and I will be able to do a wear test. So I probably will do a short about that. If not, or I'll post it as a pinned comment or in the description box below, just to kind of update you on the wear test. But I expect these to wear really, really well, just based on my swatching, because like I said, it's taken me a lot to get them off, but then also just based on the history of Caliray. Their eyeliners are great. They're super waterproof. Their mascara is super waterproof. So their products are just waterproof, which is great for a lot of people and for me sometimes, but these are beautiful. So $25. They're going to be on sale on the Sephora app on September 1st, which I believe is Sunday, and then they will be available online to everybody on September 2nd, which I believe is Labor Day. So September 1st on the app, and then September 2nd everywhere. I'm not sure when they will be in store or if they'll be in store, but they will be for everybody on September 2nd. So let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below if you'll be picking these up. Are you interested in them? And you know, 25 bucks, great. And I'm a fan so far. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.